Okay, so hello everybody. Today I will be doing a presentation about AI for All. I'm actually an outreach ambassador for AI for All, so it's actually my job to be talking to girls like you and like hopefully getting you encouraged to apply to our program. Yeah, so AI for All is a summer program which is like pretty well known. It started as a program in Stanford called Sailors in 2016, and it soon expanded to like a lot of different universities like UC Berkeley, I think Columbia, and there are a lot of universities now. It's about 14 universities in summer 2020 and 362 students internationally. So it's like we've grown a lot in the last few years, and it's a very good program to learn about AI and technology. So let's start with talking about why diversity in AI matters. So artificial intelligence is a very exciting field. Does anybody here does anybody here not know about artificial intelligence? Raise your hand. It's totally fine. I will explain it. I love talking about this. Okay. Yeah, perfect. So artificial intelligence is essentially like programs that can learn from themselves. So a lot of them are based on like taking data and predicting different things. And like it's a lot about it learning and seeing patterns that humans can't. And it's very useful for fields like medicine, linguistics, environment. Like there are all sorts of applications for it, and it's been used a lot. Like as you can see, AI, you can find AI or artificial intelligence everywhere, from Siri, self-driving cars, diagnosing diseases. And though the uses for AI are diverse, sometimes the people who are creating it are not. Like a lot of the times it'll just be, fortunately, like white privileged men, and it is kind of our job to figure out how to get more diverse voices in, because more diverse AI leaders means that there are more creative solutions that work for everyone and not just a select few. And AI will change the world, it's guaranteed, and it's already been changing the world through many different projects like self-driving cars and Siri, etc. But our alumni at AI for All will change AI. So our 3-week summer programs for high schoolers help students take the first step towards a degree and eventually a career in AI. And like it's a very good way to get yourself started with like AI and computer science. Yeah. So here are our summer program partners. We work with a lot of like top tier universities to give our participants like a university level experience. And like we worked with Arizona State, Berkeley, UC Berkeley, Boston University, Carnegie Mellon, Columbia, Georgia Tech, University of Michigan, Penn Engineering, Princeton, Seattle, Simon Fraser, Stanford, UCSF, University of Maryland, and Paul G. Allen School of Engineering. Actually, I am a Stanford University program alumni, so I went to the Stanford program for it, which was actually the original program Sailors, but it's expanded since then. I'm a Stanford 2019 alumni, and I think Ria, one of the other organizers, is a Stanford 2017 alumni. And I feel like Chaitra, one of the other organizers, I don't think she's here yet, is a Seattle U alumni as well. So we do have a lot of AI for All alumni in Pixel Hacks. It's very funny, but like, yeah, that's definitely a well-known thing. So here is one of the stories of one of the guys who did AI for All. He went to the Princeton AI for All and is now a college freshman. He was in the Bronx and he came to AI for All, and I think he did like a few of the projects, and he became an environmental researcher. So actually he went to the University of New York's Environmental Science Initiative and like developed CO2 sensors to monitor and report ambient air quality on the school's campus. And so he spent about 2 summers as a researcher in the lab at Dr. Ricardo Toledo Cruz lab at CUNY. And this is like one of the other like stories of AI for All. It's a lot about like getting you involved in research, and then you're able to do a lot of things after that. Like even I have my own story, which I can tell after the presentation. And this is Stephanie. I actually know her personally because she came to visit us as a Stanford alum. And so she's a college freshman right now. And She went to the Stanford AI4ALL program in 2017, and she uses AI assisted methods for tracking the flow of contaminated water in her own hometown because she's in Central Valley, California. And she started an AI club at her local middle school and it impacted like 50 plus students. So she's incredibly inspiring as well. Yeah, so these are like some of the other summer program highlights from not my experience, but these are from I don't actually have that many pictures unfortunately, but yeah, you get to see like different like labs and you get to work with robots and stuff. Like I was at Stanford, so I got to see the Stanford's like machine learning labs and I got to see their robots and stuff like that. So it was very exciting for me to get involved with that and I got to like live on the college campus, so like definitely that was also an interesting experience living like dorm life for 3 weeks. So, who is this program for? So, we're looking for students who identify with groups historically excluded from the AI field. So, Black students, Latinx students, Indigenous students, girls especially. I think that's just not on there for some odd reason. And students with demonstrated financial need, like as a girl in AI, like sometimes people sort of discriminate against you, like they don't take you as seriously, and that's a pretty big problem. And the Stanford AI for All group is actually specifically only for girls, so that was like why it started as a group called Sailors. And it is currently open to students from 8th through 11th grade, but there's also I think a 12th grade program at UCSF. You don't need any computer programming experience to apply, so it's like completely okay. And our alumni are young people who care about using technology for a positive social impact. So that's like the main thing. Like you just have to have like the fighting spirit for it. You don't have to know like anything. I remember some people in my group really didn't know much. Some people were very experienced. So here are the program oops, I'm so dumb. Program details. So program dates are usually in the summer and they vary by location. They're at 16 sites and most programs are free and any of the ones that actually cost have a lot of financial aid available. The applications are open January through March. So I feel like some of them might be open now, but you can always apply next year. You can apply through this website, which I will give to you all in the chat after. So yeah, here are a few insights about AI for All. So somebody said before the program, I didn't know much about AI. I knew about the theoretical benefits, but I didn't know how to implement it. And after they went to it, they are sure they want to work on AI in the future. And some people like thought they weren't smart enough for CS and AI, but now they kind of gained all the confidence to do it. And that is a very important thing. Like it really supports your confidence. And actually, once you graduate AI for All, any of the programs, you become part of the change makers in AI community, which is lifelong mentorship and support through the group. And there is like a pathway to an AI career and leadership that only AI for All summer alumni can get. There's a lot of leadership opportunities, community opportunities, grants, internship, and more, all for free. You just like, if you're good enough to get through the program, then like you're almost set. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? Otherwise, I'll start telling stories about what happened when I was at AI for All, and we can all laugh about that.
I have a question. You told me that you think that there was a program for 12 graders. Do you have any information of that?
UCSF AI for All. Let me quickly check it out. So
Okay.
UCSF University at San Francisco was. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where. Oh, I'm so sorry. I like told I it was eight. Are you a rising 12th grader or are you in 12th grade right now?
I'm in 12 right
Oh,
now.
that's unfortunate. I'm so sorry. I thought you meant like rising 12th grader. Unfortunately, you're
Oh,
not.
no.
But it's okay because
Oh, okay.
it's okay. I'm so sorry. I will see if I can find another program for you perhaps. But yeah, um does anybody what grades are the rest of you in? Jen,
I'm a rising senior.
rising senior. Oh, that's good. You could definitely be applying for some of the programs.
Then I have a question. So this year, because of all the COVID stuff, is it all online?
Yes, I think almost all the programs have gone online. I think I think last year maybe some of them closed, but this year everything is online. So you'll be getting like the almost the exact same experience, except it just won't be in person as far as I know, because I went to it when it was in person, but I talked to some of the newest batch of AI4ALL alums, and they said that they got like the same amount of research experience and interaction with professors and stuff that they got, that they think they would have gotten if they had been in person. But yeah. Yeah, so like I can start talking a little bit about my experience, because like I'll even start talking a little bit about myself just so you can see like my side of the story for AI4ALL. So I was like always into CS as a child. Like I definitely liked it a lot. Like I was always doing like robotics and things like that. And I kind of actually knew about sailors in the Stanford program from a pretty like middle school, because I knew people who went there and I wanted to go as well. So then I applied, right? And I like the questions are very simple. It just talks about like, oh, what have you done? What are your views on like AI and like things like that. It's like you don't necessarily have to know a lot about CS. You just have to show that you have a genuine passion for like improving the world and like doing research and stuff like that. So that's like the general crux of it. I think there's like a few rec letters you have to get from teachers, and that's it. And then I went there and I got accepted, and I went to Stanford for the summer. And through those 3 weeks, I bonded with like my AI4ALL cohort, which was like from everywhere. We had students from like Colombia and like Canada and Sweden even, and then there were students from California and all across the country. So it was like a very interesting experience to be with so many different types of people. And then we learned a lot. Like I did a project that was about using artificial intelligence to classify cancer. So that was the project I did, and I worked with Stanford postdoc who was currently in the molecular biology lab, and he was like an amazing mentor. And I also got to be in, there was a lot of guest lectures from different professors at Stanford who like talked about their fields in AI, like somebody about linguistics, one person about environmental science. And yeah, that's generally my experience with that. And then I graduated AI4ALL and I became a part of their alumni community. And then I applied for the position of like an outreach ambassador. And so I get to talk to you guys about AI4ALL and like encourage you guys to apply. And there's also like research, like a lot of research opportunities are sent in the email, internship opportunities there. Like I actually was selected to present at a climate change summit about AI and climate change. So that was a very interesting experience for me. So definitely I would say the program really gave me a lot of different opportunities and severely like increased my confidence in my usage of computer science. Yeah. Does anybody have any other like specific questions about the program or anything? And also, if you guys apply, like feel free to keep in touch with me and like ask me questions about that, because I'm totally like good with that. I can give you like obviously I can't write your application for you, but I can definitely help you with like figuring out where you want to go and stuff like that, and like general things about the program. And if you have any questions that I can't answer, I'll link you directly to AI4ALL staff who I work with. Yeah. So, does anybody have any specific questions? Or I can start telling funny stories of AI4ALL. Okay. Time for funny stories about AI4ALL, about all the things that we did at Stanford. So one of the things that I remember distinctly about doing Stanford AI4ALL was that we at our dorm used to play volleyball, because at the back of our dorm we had this like sand volleyball court, and that was very fun. Like we used to like do it after we would do all of our research and our AI work, like in the late evening slash afternoon we would be playing volleyball. And actually the dorm, like a hill above us that overlooked us, was from the sumac camp, which is the math camp, which I also would recommend applying to if you enjoy competitive math and you like math. That's also something I highly recommend applying to. So they used to cheer for us whenever we were playing, and that was definitely a fun memory. And then another memory I remember is that we had the dorm next to us. Like it was like, I don't remember what camp it was, but there was someone who used to play bagpipes. and they used to play every morning. They would be playing bagpipes at like 7 a.m. and people would just be waking up, and like they would have literally no clue why someone was playing bagpipes. And then we never really knew the name of the guy who played bagpipes, so we named him Scott until like 3 weeks into the program. We were like, what is your actual name? And it turned out it was Hugo, and I got his autograph. So that was definitely a fun experience.
Whose autograph did you get?
I got a random child's autograph because he was playing I'm sorry, bagpipe. But I actually got a famous person's autograph too at AI4ALL. So there's a very famous AI scientist called Dr. Fei Li. She actually, I feel like she started AI4ALL. Yeah, she started AI4ALL along with another like professor from Princeton. I'll put her name in the chat. Ooh, can I give you, I just saw this. Can I give you the application form? So let me give you the link. I'll stop screen sharing for now.